All right. Okay, first of all, guys, I just want to say, I had high expectations for tonight. I mean, my expectations for tonight, my wishes for tonight were so high. There's so many things I wanted to get out of this debate. And look, I want to say, first of all, I think I got all of them. I watched Kamala Harris go down in a cloud of smoke. I said I watched Kamala Harris go down in a cloud of smoke, and it couldn't have been done in a better format, in a better way, because the person that I wanted to do it did it. The person that I wanted to see, I didn't just want her to go down with Joe Biden. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm pumped up, guys. I don't have a teleprompter here. This is all gut feeling. This is all real. Kamala Harris suffered a vital injury today. It wasn't to an extremity. It was into an internal organ. The internal organ is authenticity. Her authenticity was damaged. The moral high ground was damaged. You understand what I'm saying? So tonight was an important night because tonight all the dogs came out to play. Everybody came out to play. Let's start from the top. The opening ceremony, the opening lines. I knew right then that Joe Biden came to play. Now, he came out strong. He came out strong in the beginning. His opening lines, from the offset, I said, okay, Joe Biden, he's not going down. He did something that none of the other candidates did, is he challenged Donald Trump from the get-go. This was very strategic on the part of Joe Biden. Joe Biden knows the only way that he is going to maintain his high ranking, his high polling, and most of that high polling, I think, is from people who don't really pay attention that much attention to politics, or they know enough about Joe Biden not to be so all in on Joe Biden. But what Joe Biden knows is he needs to project like he is electable. So what does he do? He goes after Donald Trump in his opening statement. He is the only candidate that did that. So guys, Joe Biden is not so sleeping behind the wheel as I may have thought him to be. But heck, what else has he been doing except, getting ready for this? So from the opening bell, I felt that Joe Biden was going to be prepared. And he was a little punchy. I think the very beginning when he came out and he greeted Kamala Harris. It's been reported everywhere. Do you know he told her, "Take it easy on me, kid"? But that could not happen. It would not happen. It could not happen. So this is how it plays out. This is how it begins. It begins with a showdown with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And everybody's waiting for it. The media is waiting for it. CNN is betting the whole house. They're pushing all the chips to the middle. And they're putting all the chips on Kamala Harris. What should I say on Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? Because actually I think they put their chips on Joe Biden. I think if they had to choose between which one of the neoliberals they want to go with, I think they want to go with Joe Biden. That's just the feeling I got. Now, things are a little bit different. If you guys watched the show last night, you'll know that all the deck was stacked against Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. I don't feel that was the case tonight. I don't feel like CNN truly stacked the deck against Joe Biden. What they set up was little tangents between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's not the same thing. We had the whole entire field going after Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren relentlessly, particularly Bernie Sanders. It was like everyone at one time wanted a piece of Joe Biden. In fact, the opening statements, they weren't all focused on Joe Biden, taking hits at Joe Biden. This tells you a lot. See, you don't just judge the field based on who sends out the most shots, but you also judge it on who is taking on the most fire. Because the person taking on the most fire, forget what the polls say. Get the polls out of here for a second. If these candidates felt that Joe Biden was the strongest, then why weren't they all calling him out? You got a giant, all of the little, they jump the giant. Everyone jumps the giant. They weren't jumping Joe Biden to the same extent as which they were jumping Bernie Sanders. So that tells me that the field knows that Joe Biden is a paper tiger. It's all on paper. It's not really leading. All right, so once that cleared away a little bit, I noticed that Kamala Harris was a little gun shy. And she had a reason to be gun shy because she did not come prepared. She did not come prepared for a Joe Biden that was on the aggressive, though he did, and came strapped. He came strapped with her record. He came strapped with her record in his arsenal to call out deficiencies in her prosecutorial record. And you would have thought that she would be ready for such. Also to defend her critiques on busing. Joe Biden came out and he struck on Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris, guys, it was embarrassing in my opinion. How could you not be prepared? He telegraphed, hey, when I come out, I'm going to be more aggressive. I was being nice. I was being polite. So you already were on notice that you were going to have to be ready. And if this was Kamala Harris being ready for a contentious debate, then I got to question who's prepping her. Because I expected a better performance out of Kamala Harris. As much as she likes to showboat, as much as she likes the stage. She started off flat. She punched back at Biden. The busing issue, she lost that argument. In fact, the busing issue, she had already given up that argument. But what sealed the deal on her losing the argument on busing that we were all waiting to see the recap was Tulsi Gabbard coming from her right flank or her left flank. I would have to say left because she's more to the left than Kamala. Anybody who wants to end wars to me is really on the real left, the true left. I'm sorry. That's how I see that. Tulsi Gabbard took the opportunity to go after Kamala Harris on her record, on her hypocritical notion that she's defended, that she's going after Joe Biden when her record is just as bad, if not worse than Joe Biden's. And then you got Cory Booker coming in, reiterating it. And now we got Joe Biden on the defensive. But what struck me as odd is I did not see Tulsi Gabbard go for the juggler on Joe because she had Joe. She had Joe Biden. We're going to get to more of that later. So anyway, here we go. This is the way I'm looking at this. I'm looking at a wounded Kamala Harris. I'm looking at a Joe Biden, moments of still having it, a little savvy. But to me, he did enough not to be destroyed, but he did not do enough to win. To me, if you look at the two nights together, the headliners, the front runners of Bernie and Elizabeth Warren totally outperformed Biden and Kamala Harris. I don't even think it was close. I think we got a clinic last night of how front runners are to operate. And when I noticed really quickly, and I tweeted this, I didn't think that Kamala Harris, in fact, I thought she was going to get fried even more so because she did not have any allies. Unlike Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris does not have any natural support system. She didn't have anyone who really shares ideology. Kamala Harris has been a shifting chameleon her entire political career. So that does not afford her the ability to have people in her corner. Where's Cory Booker? Why didn't Cory Booker come to Kamala's aid? These are all good questions. I want to tell you, I was surprised at how strong. Someone did a very strong job in the beginning at certain points. And that someone is Andrew Yang. I think Andrew Yang, particularly on the immigration. On immigration, I really love the immigration story that he told tonight. I was impressed with Andrew Yang bringing up his past, bringing up his dad, an immigrant, and totally just taking it to Donald Trump about how we should see immigrants. How his father, how his dad, his father, all those patents that he created for IBM, and that he was an immigrant that he did that. And according to Andrew Yang, how'd he put it? I think America got the better of the deal. I thought that was very well done for Andrew Yang. In fact, I like the fact how confident Andrew was. Now, don't get me wrong. I got a little worry of him bringing up UBI in every response. Every response was UBI. But I can tell you this, everybody watching the show, at the end of the day, knows exactly what Andrew Yang is about. And I think, to his credit, that is important. I think that's central issue that you want to hang your hat on. So we had some outstanding performances and some not so outstanding performances. I'm going to say right now that I don't even understand why Bennett and Inslee are here. I don't get it. I'm at a loss for words for why they're here. I understand Inslee, climate change. I know it's policy. I know. But when Bennett and Inslee talk, my eyes start to gloss over. I get a little weary. I have a hankering for a pillow in a dark spot, wondering where the blankets are. I'm ready to go night-night. These guys bore me. I'm going to tell you one thing. I know these guys, are they not literally running to be president? They're running to get exposure. Because you can't possibly believe that the pregnant pauses of a Michael Bennet will beat a Donald Trump. You know, whether you say something slow or you say it fast, doesn't matter if what you're saying is not all that interesting. I didn't find anything they had to say all that interesting. Jay Inslee could have basically put on an index card that the world is ending if we don't fix climate change, and that would have been it. He could have just mailed that in. In fact, he could have just asked Bill de Blasio to read that, and that would be it. He didn't even need to come to the show tonight. Julian Castro. Julian Castro had a pretty good night. I think vastly more people are more exposed to Julian Castro, and I think he did himself a lot of good tonight. But I already knew that Julian Castro had that capability because I saw him perform in the first debate. And I said, oh my goodness, the way he took shots at Beto O'Rourke, I knew that Julian Castro, you better not sleep on this guy. And Biden mistakenly got into it with Julian Castro. And that hurt Biden. Because Julian Castro knows immigration inside out. And there's really there's no place to stand. Either you're going to say, we want to give people a pathway to citizenship, and you need to say, we need to end the criminalization of coming across the border, or you support Donald Trump's policies. Because Donald Trump, he is using the law as it's written to separate families. You either have to decriminalize coming across the border and make it a civil situation, or you continue to criminalize it where people get locked up. So there's nowhere to go on this. I don't understand how Joe Biden can be this deaf. See, they're worried about attracting Republicans. Joe Biden is still a neoliberal. This is why he can't. See, people think I don't like Joe Biden just because his name is Joe Biden. And it's not just about the 94 crime bill. It's not just about the Iraq vote, all of which were brought up tonight that should have hurt him. I hope it hurt him, but people who listen. But it's also, he's still got that old playbook that Hillary Clinton tried to use. It did not work in 2016, which is we're going to try to attract us some Republicans. And speaking of Republicans, we had quite a number of Republicans on that stage tonight. We did. We had a lot of Republicans. I thought we had 7 Republicans on the Democrat stage last night. Tonight, I think we had more Republicans than that. I'm a venture to guess we may have had 8 Republicans on the stage tonight. Yeah, I really have a hard time. Really have a hard time. I don't even, you know what, I can't, you know what, I'm going to take that back, guys. I'm going to take it back. This is a hot take. I'm going to take it back. Some of these people, I don't think they know who they are. See, we had people like Amy Klobuchar, you know who she is. She knows who she is. She'll tell you, I'm not exciting, I'm pragmatic, code word, Republican. Republican in the Democrat in name only, Dino. Okay? But when we start looking at people like Cory Booker, I mean, he takes money like he's Republican. You know, he I don't like his policies at all. I wonder if we can we call him Republican? We're going to call him corporate Democrats. We're going to call him a corporate Democrat. He occasionally will speak the language of a Democrat or of a progressive, but there was no follow through on that. So as the night wore on, and I noticed that we have Julian Castro, who no one wants to see problem with Julio Castro. They recognize that. They recognize what they're dealing with. De Blasio, this should have sunk him. Did anyone notice the heckling? There was heckling. There were people protesting in the auditorium, which stopped the proceedings at least twice. At least twice. Does anyone know what they were saying? They were saying fire Pantaleo. Does anyone know who Pantaleo is? Pantaleo was the cop that killed Eric Garner and still has a job. I would really think that would be the end of de Blasio. If de Blasio can't get Pantaleo fired, he shouldn't even been on that stage. In fact, after I heard the protesters shouting out Pantaleo, I couldn't hear anything else that de Blasio had to say. Because to me, as a progressive, if you're going to still have that guy, he's still working on your police force, you fire him and take the hit later. Even if he sues you, you get him out. All of Blasio's talk, all of it, means not if when it comes down to it, you don't do the right thing. This is sort of like the same thing with Kamala Harris. She talks a good game, but at the end of the day, what did she do? What did Tulsi Gabbard say she did? She kept inmates over-incarcerated, kept them longer in prison than was necessary. She did not free, and then she put an innocent man. She did not want to overturn the sentence of an innocent man whose DNA has proven that he did not commit the crime, who was going to die. He was on death row over a technicality about some paperwork not being filed on time, even though you have the evidence that he didn't commit the crime. To me, that disqualifies you as ever calling yourself a progressive. In fact, that disqualifies you from calling yourself a leader, a public servant, ethical, a human being, a humanist, any of that. And then when Tulsi Gabbard also added for good measure, we have Kamala talking about throwing people in jail for marijuana. Meanwhile, she goes on the Breakfast Club and laughs with Charlamagne the God about doing what, guys? Smoking the sticky icky. Kamala Harris should be done. This should be the end of Kamala Harris. I shouldn't have to hear no more from Kamala Harris. In fact, I put out a tweet that went semi-viral. Last time I checked, it had like 500 likes and 300 retweets or something crazy. It needs to go more viral than that. Because I said, see, guys, it's not about Kamala Harris's husband being white. It's not about Kamala Harris's daddy being from Jamaica and her mama from India. It's about her stinky, funky record, horrible, horrific, atrocious, despicable record. And then I sent that to Zerlina Maxwell, who's one of her biggest champions, who throws us under the bus for calling her out. Tulsi Gabbard didn't need to bring up any of these stupid ideas about racial ethnicity or background or these other things when we got all of this. All of this. So look, let's be really, really, really clear. Everyone, let's be really, really, really clear. We shouldn't have to hear anything else about Kamala Harris. In a righteous world, in a just system, in a media that calls it like they see it, they would call out the fact that Kamala Harris, that her car got punched tonight. But I wonder if that the conversation that's going on. I wonder. So I talked about Booker, Castro, Yang, Bennett, Inslee, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Tulsi Gabbard. Let's do winners and losers. How about that? How about we do winners and losers? Tonight's winners and losers are a little bit different than they were last night because I don't think we're going to give so many people a winning grade tonight. And that's not because I want to be stingy with the winners and losers grades giving. I would love to give more winning stamps, but I can't because the performances don't add up to winning. The only winner that I have tonight is Tulsi Gabbard. I think Tulsi Gabbard came in and did what she needed to do. She had been pecking at Kamala Harris. And actually, this shouldn't even been a surprise, guys. That's what's so arrogant about Kamala Harris. She should have known that Joe Biden was going to be there for her and wanted all the smoke. She had to know that. He said it. Then we got Tulsi Gabbard, who said on The View that she would call out Kamala Harris, that she wouldn't back down, who has been on several news stations letting it be known her distaste for what Kamala did when she called out Joe Biden and brought up busing, though her record doesn't really show, and her belief system is that we shouldn't have busing, and called Biden basically every other, as close as you can get with calling someone racist without calling them a racist. She already said she was going to, Kamala had to know that Tulsi Gabbard was coming for her, but she was not prepared. I don't know what Kamala Harris thought that Tulsi Gabbard was going to come for her on. your record, sister. That's it. So I think Tulsi Gabbard did what she needed to do. And to all of the people that support her, all the people that pay attention, is very loud, most engaged group of people which are progressive and people like-minded progressive people who pay attention to the news cycle, who pay attention to what's going on with their candidate. They were all waiting to see what Tulsi was going to do. And I think she delivered on that today. Now, though I feel that she is the winner tonight, I am a little disappointed because I wanted her to hit Joe Biden as well. But that's me. That's me. Some people point out, Tim, there's a strategy at play here. If she goes after Kamala Harris and goes after Biden, well, she's boxed herself in. You may have a point. I still want what I want. Joe Biden's crime bill, Joe Biden, and not just that, forget that, I'm sorry. Joe Biden's vote on Iraq. See, I feel that Tulsi Gabbard let Joe Biden breeze on this one. She let him live on this one. If we're going to call out people who make horrible votes on war, Tulsi's wheelhouse, and you have to go after Joe Biden. He's in the office with Obama, taking us through more regime change wars. How could you let him walk away untouched from you on this issue? You're the only one up there with credibility in this space at all, and you let him breeze. Is there some type of conversation going on behind the scenes I don't know about? Because I don't see how you let that happen. 226,000 bombs in the first year. They came in, we were at war in 2 places. By the time they left, we're at war 7 places. Cory Booker called it out. He said, you're the one, Joe Biden, always bringing up Obama, but when we talk about the failures of Obama, you get silent. So, Tulsi Gabbard, still a winner tonight. Didn't go as far as I wanted her to go, for the reasons I just listed. Another winner tonight, in a way. Not a winner, I'm sorry. That's not the word. A survivor. I was not impressed with Joe Biden, but I think Joe Biden did about as good as Joe Biden could do. Okay? That doesn't mean I thought he did a great job. I'm saying he did about as good as he needed to. He did about as good as he could do. You gotta compare Joe Biden to Joe Biden. Joe Biden was just here to try to be better than the other Joe Biden. The Joe Biden that looked like he had no reason. The last performance that Joe Biden gave, to me, was a humiliation to all those people that gave him money. Joe Biden had to come in tonight and recoup himself to prove that, well, you didn't totally just throw your money in the toilet when you donated to Joe Biden. So I think that he did that tonight. He did enough to avoid being destroyed tonight. That's what I think he did. Now, that doesn't mean he did a great job. He didn't do a great job. On a question, see, this is what's going to happen. Joe Biden's going to have to break. He's going to have to make his mind up. Either you're going to die being crucified in place of Obama for all of Obama's travesties, all of his failings, his Wall Street shenanigans, his wars, or you're gonna break from it. And I think Biden's going to realize that more and more. As further as we go, he's going to have to make that decision. You can't wrap yourself in Obama on one point and then try to peel away when things get dirty without actually peeling away. So that's what he's doing, because he realizes the only chance he's got is he keeps black people in the dark about how horrible things were under Obama. See, he has to keep up the facade to black voters, because that's the only thing that's keeping Joe Biden in this at all, are black voters who have a nostalgic feeling, a warm feeling, an emotional attachment to the first black president, Barack Obama. And they transferred their warm feelings from Obama to Biden. Wrongly. Neither one deserve that affectionate feeling. People are not what they look like or what they are to you. They are what they've done for you, what they've done to you, not just who they are physically or mentally to you. But once again, I think he did enough to avoid total destruction. I can't come up with any other winners. Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang won in the sense that he proved he could get on that stage with these seasoned politicians. I feel similar to Andrew Yang as I feel about Marianne Williamson. Marianne Williamson went into the Lions Den and she was able to get her message out. Marianne Williamson was classic, though. I can't put him on that level, but I will say that Andrew Yang was successful in avoiding being quiet, being shut down, and he was able to speak, and he spoke so confidently. And I'm impressed with his ability to do that on this stage. Folks, none of us know what it's like to be watched by millions and millions and millions of people. I've been watched by millions and millions of people cumulatively, but all at one time? Got to be a little nerve-wracking. I'll leave that there because I want to talk more about him. Everyone else, I see a lot of middle. I don't see anyone else I could put who really did themselves a favor tonight. I don't know. Who else did a favor for themselves? Cory Booker didn't impress me tonight. He had a couple of moments that were better than other moments for him, but they were nothing compared to what a frontrunner needs to do. Did Cory Booker really move the needle tonight? Yeah, he won at Joe Biden. He talked about Joe Biden's record, but when Joe Biden brought up his Newark mayoral record, his record is Newark mayor. He didn't have much comeback. Neither did Biden. Neither one of them did. Neither did Kamala Harris. All three of them really didn't have a real good rebuttal, and all three of them would be permanently damaged by Donald Trump not having any cut cards about calling out their records. So remember, this is not just about being able to fight amongst friends. You're going to have to go against Trump and win that argument. I don't think Biden can win an argument. See, some of this to me is about having the moral high ground against Donald Trump, which gives you the moral authority and the credibility to say, they keep saying Trump's a racist, but if you were a proponent of stop and frisk Cory Booker, how much of a racist can you say Trump is? I mean, dude, there's a name for people like you and Kamala Harris. I mean, Kamala Harris locked up more black people than slavery. Look it up. And then when there was time to exonerate them, to give them their freedom papers, when the Emancipation Proclamation came, she didn't want to let them go. I mean, she was horrible. That's how I see this. If you look at what's going on in the mass incarceration being akin to slavery, that's how I see it, right? That's what we use. That's the analogy, right? So what I'm saying is, when you have a record that has racist practices with a system that's racially biased and you both support it, whether it be stop and frisk or whether it be mass incarceration, well, then you have no real moral high ground with Donald Trump. Yeah, you can say that, but once we start having these debates, where can you really stand? I don't know where you can stand if you're Cory Booker or you're Kamala Harris. So Cory Booker didn't have an exceptional night. He was exposed, and Joe Biden was prepared for him. And once again, Cory Booker shows his lack of preparation and his arrogance because he knew Biden was going to bring up his record as Newark. And when you invoke the name Giuliani, Cory Booker hired the guy that worked for Giuliani to handle policing. I rest my case. It doesn't get worse than that, guys. If you are a black or a Latino person in New York City, anywhere close to it, and knows anything about Rudy Giuliani, anybody that hires a Rudy Giuliani, no one wants any parts of that person. And if that gets legs, Cory's done. But let's face the truth, he was really done before tonight. Come on, guys. He's looking for a cabinet position. I think that Julian Castro did himself a world of good tonight. I think he did well. He spoke well on immigration. Good points. Winner, I think he gets a bump tonight. I think he gets a bump out of this. More so than Cory Booker. I think Inslee is where Inslee was. I think Bennett is where he was. Bennett and Inslee, they just irritate me. And I don't want to make this personal, but I felt nothing from them. Kirsten Gillibrand. There was one exchange between Joe Biden and Kirsten Gillibrand that was very weird, guys. It was like Kirsten Gillibrand, she brought up a women's issue with Joe Biden, and Joe Biden took out her legs. Instead of letting it go, she stayed on it, and I get it because it was embarrassing. It was something about equal pay or stay at home or something like that. And Joe Biden showed that he may be dimming, the lights may be dimming on the porch, but they're still on because he was ready for her. He retorted, and he said, like, you know, you never said anything before, and you were fine with this, and you were fine with that. Only difference is now you're running for president. And I'm like, okay. There was an exchange, an important exchange, and I could be soured by this. This could be probably why I'm a little soured by Kirsten. There was an important exchange about immigration. I thought it was important. It was going somewhere. It was between Julian Castro and Joe Biden and Cory Booker. They were all weighing in. And they called on Kirsten Gillibrand, and I don't know why they did it. And she had nothing to say. And instead of ending on a high note, a note that we needed that would get people informed, she just started talking platitudes about how we need to be seen by the world or something. And to me, it was just a waste of time. So that was embarrassing. Tulsi Gabbard had an opportunity to talk about regime change war, and she did. And she had a note that was so, they like cleared the floor. It was like she was Michael Jordan. They gave him the ball, and he's running on the fast break. He's by himself, and he's going for that layup, and they let her dunk. And then all they did was change the subject and move on. They did not engage. I'm telling you, CNN, they do not want Tulsi Gabbard to talk about peace or talk about ending these wars. It's evident. And Cory Booker, instead of following her lead on that, he changed the subject, started talking something else domestic. They do not want to have a conversation. So now let's go to losers, guys. Let's go to losers. I think Kamala Harris is hands down the biggest loser of the night. Now, losing for Kamala Harris is not the same as losing for some other people. I mean, the expectation in being on notice coming in, Kamala Harris should have did a better job. She's been more prepared. She could not fend off the attack of Joe Biden. She had nowhere to go. She did not do well. And Tulsi Gabbard coming at the same time. She obviously was flat-footed. She did not get it. She was ill-prepared to deal with defending her own prosecutorial record. Hey, I don't understand how you come in with your record. It wasn't like Tulsi Gabbard and Joe Biden assigned a new record to her and she was unknowing. We're talking about your own record. To say that you stand by your record of over-incarceration, that you stand by your record of, and we didn't even get into Steve Mnuchin. She brags about she defended the people who lost their homes. You let Steve Mnuchin walk when your office said you should have prosecuted him after he illegally fraudulently foreclosed on homes of poor people and working people. You should be called out. You were gifted not even to be called out on that. And she still had a horrible night. Kamala Harris is the biggest loser of the night. And I'm glad she is because I think she's been skating on bravado and that she was, Obama had a good relationship with her. And every time I turn around, some network, cable, and the Breakfast Club, and CNN people, the MSNBC, and Zelina Maxwell, and other sycophants for the Democratic establishment and the elites are propping her up, and I think she's undeserving of being propped up. She is part of the problem. And her health care, oh my God. She is not a good steward of the Medicare for All message. First of all, her bill of 10 years, that's something I forgot, guys. I should have brought that up earlier. Joe Biden ate her lunch on the Medicare for All thing. And I support Medicare for All. But if it's going to take you 10 years to make your legislation or your proposal work, then that's probably right what Biden says. If it takes you 10 years to do it, you probably shouldn't do it. Like 10 years. And don't get me wrong, I don't think you just stick it and make people accept the Affordable Care Act and say, that's good, that's a good day, let's walk away. I think that's stupid too. So I don't agree with either one of their plans, but the point is, I think Kamala should be able to call her Medicare, her health care plan Medicare for all. She should call it something else. Stop using the language of progressives when your plan is neither progressive. If it includes helping insurance companies in our healthcare system that's already bloated, that's in it for profit, who brought that up? Was it Tulsi Gabbard? Did she bring it up? Was it Kirsten Gillibrand? I think a couple people brought it up. I don't think you should be able to call that Medicare for all at all. I think you need to call it something else. Call it Kamala Care. Call it chameleon care. You know? Call it that. Don't call it Medicare for all, because it's not Medicare for all. It's a weird, scary Frankenstein thing. I'm sort of Medicare for all, but I'm a health option. Plus, I'm a Romney kid too. I'm a gross configuration. I'm like that monster in The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, the original one. That's weird, altered state or something, transform into something else. I don't even know what it is. Just get it out of here, man. Just get that out of here. That's disgusting. I don't want to see that. Scared. Whatever it is, it's not working. So once again, loser of the night, Kamala Harris. Also loser of the night, I just think Inslee. I think Inslee and Bennett have overstayed their welcome. I think they need to, if they can raise money after tonight's lackluster performance, nothing is inspiring about these two gentlemen. I'm sorry. There's nothing about them that says, I want to see you keep going. You know, I can look at Yang and I disagree with, I don't think UBI fixes everything. I'm not one of these people that believes that, $1,000, hey man, we need to fix climate change. Well, the best way to fix climate change is to give people $1,000 a month. Do you realize what you can do with $1,000? You can move to higher ground. He really said the way you combat climate change is everybody move to higher ground. Here goes $1,000 a month. Now you'll be able to move somewhere else. That's what he said. That's part of what he said. He said something else too. But what I'm saying is I don't believe that that's the solution. But I still rather see Andrew Yang in the third and fourth debates before Inslee and Delaney and Bennett and Ryan and there's other people that need to, and Hickenlooper, they need to drop out. So basically what I'm saying is, yeah, I think de Blasio is I can't call him a loser tonight, but I call him a middle. I think he got hurt tonight a little. How could you not be hurt when people are protesting you so badly that they have to stop the show twice because of you? Okay, so like, let's not quibble about it. It's about you, de Blasio. Like, you are the problem. You're who they're protesting. The mayor of New York who can't get a cop fired who killed a man. And I take that personal. Unlike these people that say, well, I met with, I think it was Kirsten Gillibrand, I met with, and Kamala Harris, I met with Eric Garner's wife, and, you know, whatever. Well, I knew Erica Garner. And de Blasio, you'll never get a vote out of me unless you lock Panaleo up. So, and that's real talk. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I think that's all I got. Let's go to closing arguments. Now, we know a lot of times we watch a debate. The closers are kind of what seals the deal for us about how we feel about the candidates and how they did. But tonight's closers, I'll just go down the list. De Blasio's closer. What is this? We need to... So someone told de Blasio he's a better politician than he is. This whole thing of I want to tax the hell out of the rich. No, see, I know you're looking at what Bernie Sanders is doing. You're going, well, I can do that too. I can be mean to rich people. No, we don't want to be mean. We want to be fair. Progressive, well, let me speak for myself, all right? We're not here to punish people. We're here to extract fairness from people. We want them to do the right thing, and we don't expect them to do it because of they're good people and they're chivalrous or they're humanitarians. We want to make them do what they should do, which is pay their fair share. But we're not here to tax the hell out of anybody. And that's a horrible, like, who wants that? You know, why would you sell that? So his closer stunk because he used that same line in his opener, and he didn't hear the people go, ugh. Like, can't you hear? I know you come prepared to talk. You got canned lines to say. I get it. But, dude, didn't you hear the audience boo when you did it the first time? Bennett, sleepy is hard to sit through. His closer was boo-boo. I didn't like it. Boring. Get out. Inslee, oh, scared. Like, everybody wants to end climate change. But I'll tell you this. If I had to sit and listen to you bloviate about how you got things done and keep reminding me that you were governor and keep reminding me, like, I don't, dude. You'll make me almost wish that climate change would just come quicker and put me out of my misery so I don't have to listen to you tell me about what you did in this small place. I don't want to hear it. And then talk in Washington State. That's it. Then talk about what you did for the black community. It was really weird. Like, dude, how many black people live in Washington State? I don't know. It's probably a lot. But I heard some bad things about Seattle. I've covered some stuff in Seattle that if anybody was on point that felt that you were worthy, they would have brought it up about some of the crime statistics and some of the treatment that people received in Seattle. Hello? Gillibrand. Her closer was mediocre. She said, I'm running for president I'm running for president. Well, she should have said, I'm running for president because it's going to help my career. Because she has no real other reason to run for president. I'm sorry, she just doesn't. One thing I have never seen is people really championing for Gillibrand. That's because she really doesn't inspire people in that way. I think she'd be good in a cabinet position, don't get me wrong. I think she'd be good in a cabinet position. And that's what she's here for. That's the real reason why she's running for president. Castro, he had a line about adios to Donald Trump, saying adios to Donald Trump. Maybe it would have worked for me a little bit better if I hadn't heard it 4 times. He says it every time I've ever heard him speak. And I haven't heard him speak that many times. That's like his thing. You know? But still, better closer than everyone else that just listed. Yeah, he had a good closer. He called out the frivolity, the trivialness, and the sensationalism of these debates and how they focused on trivial BS like his tie. Like, he didn't wear a tie last time, so he didn't wear a tie again. They're probably right about that too. And how whack our media is not to focus on real policy issues. And hey, I got $1,000 if you want $1,000 a month. You know I'm your guy. But still, his closer was good because he called out what we all can believe, what we all know to be true, is that our media focus on BS. And he got did he get a mid-speech applause? Mid-speech applause? What did Cory Booker say? I don't even know what he said. Something about love and his fake. If I got to sit through Cory Booker pretending to be passionate about something again, man, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go run playing traffic. Is it just me? Is there anybody else who's tired of Cory Booker with what about the love? And we need to work together, and we need the people and the soul of the heart and the love in the hearts of our heart. Like, if I have to listen to that, dude, we need jobs. We need to end the wars. We need health care. And what we don't need is you crying, literally crying up there. Harris tried to recoup with a strong closer. I think she was composed. She delivered it like a tactician. Good job on the delivery of her closer. Was it enough to extricate her knights? No, but still buried under the revelations of her criminal prosecution and laughing at people who are going to just stand in jail for marijuana. It's a horrible thing. That's disgusting. And then say you stand on it? Crazy. Joe Biden bounced back with his closer. His closer, nothing really earth-shattering in his closer, nothing. But it was serviceable. For those people who are so afraid of Donald Trump, they want to end Donald Trump, I think there's still some people that are going, okay, Biden, okay. All right, Joe, but I got my eye on you, Joe Biden. You know, that's what people are thinking, I think. I got my eye on you. You did enough. I was about to come out there with the cane with the hook on it and yank you off stage, but, you know, you get to last another debate. And I think that's basically all that Biden accomplished in his closer, was just to live to fight another day. But the problem with Joe Biden, guys, is that this is probably as good as Joe Biden can do. You know, and if you're a sports fan, you'll know that in order to win championships, sometimes you got to be able to dig down and do something spectacular. You got to have a 50-point night. You got to be able to run the length of the court and stop and do a block or doing a miraculous three-pointer like Hail Mary something and throw the bomb. And, you know, you got to be able to do the fingertips catch or something. And Biden has never, this is the thing that kills me, Biden has never been that guy. Why do you think he will be that guy this time? He's never been that guy. I keep trying to remind people that Joe Biden did not win the vice president's role. He was gifted it. It was like getting a job. You know, similar to most of our media talking heads who have jobs at MSNBC and CNN and Fox News or wherever they are employed. They are employed. They did not give themselves those jobs. They did not build themselves. Joe Biden does not build himself. He's a senator in a very small state of Delaware. A state he probably won because he was able to tap dance enough for Wall Street more than anyone else. And that's really what Joe Biden has been able to do. Just because he was able to outraise any of his competition does not mean he's impressive. We all know whoever has the most money wins the election. That's how it works. But Joe Biden has never done anything miraculous ever. All of the condemnation of him tonight was warranted. The 94 crime bill. Every mass incarceration. Do you realize you really want to put Joe Biden on a stage next to Donald Trump and totally have race off the table? Race is off the table if you put Joe Biden up there, because all Trump's got to do is bring up the fact that every horrible, hell, Trump is more progressive on law enforcement than Biden. He just passed the First Step Act. A bipartisan piece of legislation. He's fighting to get A$AP Rocky back out of Sweden. He stopped that black woman got her out of jail. She was in jail for the rest of her life. Donald Trump has a better record on prison reform than Joe Biden. You really want that guy up there? That's what you're telling me. And you mean to tell me you say I'm a Trump supporter because I tell you that, which is reality? I give it to you straight. Me supporting Bernie Sanders or me supporting Tulsi Gabbard is me trying to save you. All right. At least, shut up and let me save you. The Tim Black Wolfpack Gift Pack. This is the Tim Black Wolfpack Gift Pack. If you give $5 or more per month to the Tim Black Wolfpack Show, right? If you're a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack, I'm going to send you a Tim Black Wolfpack Gift Pack. Email me at tim@timblacktv.com. Send me your mailing address if you give $5 per month, or if you decide to give $5 a month to the show via Patreon or YouTube or Facebook. We got a new Facebook thing. I'm going to send you a Tim Black Wolfpack gift pack. And if you already do give $5 or more per month, well, just send me your address. A mailing address, and I'll send it to you, okay? I want to thank you for being you, all right?